everyone! Trigger warning! There might be a rant coming. Weather first, though. Here's a cool low-res radar animation from last night that demonstrates the challenge of forecasting snowfalls in complex terrain near warm water, with the Arctic front blasting out the coastal inlets, and some extra upward vertical motion provided by a swirling overhead upper low. The yellow and orange blobs are heavy snow that is duration limited because it's small scale and on the move. Nonetheless, these blobs can park themselves and unload lake effect snowfalls on the usually dry and mild Gulf Islands and the east coast of Vancouver Island. If the flow at lower levels persists, the parking becomes more likely. So forecasters are looking for strong, persistent plumes in Ruping's 1K experimental model, which, by the way, I have some great news about for later in the week. Ruping rocks it for us, always. At the stake this morning, 7 in the past 2 days and 21 for the week. Monday's forecast for Tuesday, a min of 7, a mean of 13, and a max of 18. More on this tomorrow, except to say, henceforth, when Surfer Patty speaks, the powder picker will be listening. Nice job, surfer guy. Here's the picker. High and dry until Sunday morning when 8 to 14 is our day 5 first guess. That's encouraging. This is Arctic outbreak number 5 this season, and at least half of them have been notable for their lack of persistence. Usually Arctic air hangs around for much longer than it mostly has this year. After Sunday, but I will say we're in another great pattern, generally speaking, because the air is going to remain cold enough for great pow through next week. Here's the Euro, GFS, and global models for next Friday. Don't worry about the details. All that blue on the west coast, that's cold air that I'm talking about. I'd say we're making up for last year's midwinter drought, and we deserve it. Here's the temps. One word, cold. Here's the winds. 3 words, super freaking cold. Can we just quit this preposterous pink shirt day thing? I watched my friend today on the Global Morning Show, and he's so good at holding it together whenever the pandering about anything starts. That's why he's still on TV, and I'm not. Because if I had to put up with the incessant pandering the news has become, I'd be starting fights in the newsroom, and I mean fist fights, with girls even. I have a friend who's a long-time kindergarten teacher, and she can't stand PS Day. I'm with her and them because I doubt she's alone, noting the dramatic satire of being bullied into sharing the pink shirt poison pill every goddamn year. My friend tells me, with the confidence of someone who knows this game inside out, the word bullying is not even in the vocabulary of a 5-year-old. Until Pink Shirt Day. After which, every classroom and schoolyard conflict involves the same one-trick pony. Only it's not a pony, it's a bully. Thus begins the dreadful march to the end of school year, forever mired in conference with parents claiming their child is being bullied because someone just doesn't want to sit beside them, and suggesting, ironically, that my teacher friend resolve the issue by bullying someone else's child into sitting beside their child. Notwithstanding the rank hypocrisy of this charade, as a goal, Stop Bullying has a future about as bright as stopping continental drift, or changing the weather, or changing the statistics of weather, that imaginary concept, otherwise known as climate. Nonetheless, fanatics, pretendologists, and climatologists have set about bullying everyone and seem to take particular joy, some say it's a fetish, in terrifying the smallest children in the room. Some parents, not mentioning names here, have even bullied their own children into a state of perpetual anxiety about apocalyptic future weather. I fear for the future of these parents. I just can't imagine my own children growing up and hating me for scaring them, except on Halloween. And I especially fear for the dads on this Heaven's Gate trajectory to Nikes and purple blankets. You see, I grew up in a time when men were men, and children and women loved them for it. Back then, men wouldn't dare scare children of any size, never mind their wives, with unhinged stories about the future, even if they knew that future was guaranteed. It was called leadership then, and men aspired to it. What happened to that? I know, because I've dug deep into the roots of woke culture since I first encountered it at the weather office and in the newsroom, and watched it march with appropriate horror straight into biology, then all science, including meteorology. The Weather Service, the Canadian Meteorological and Oceanographic Society, and even the World Meteorological Organization are rife with the feces of woke culture. That's your tax dollars at work. But there's an even better reason to object to PSD. Bullying is an essential skill for everyone, especially kids. Tyranny is everywhere these days, and the only way to deal with a tyrant is to be a tyrant right back at you. So you better learn how to do it. Otherwise, your child is just a pushover. But maybe that's where the social currency lies now. Ew!